Hey, what's up guys? This is episode 3 of my Pokemon Yellow Legacy Hard Mode Nuzlocke challenge. Last episode I beat Misty and got my second badge. On today's episode we're making our way to Vermilion City to challenge Lieutenant Surge. I go through the house that was mugged by Team Rocket, and fortunately the culprit is right behind the building. He has a Machop and a Drowsy, which Kingpin, my Pikachu, takes care of it no problem. Afterwards he surrenders and gives us a TM for Dig. Next I go to Route 5 to get my encounter, and it's a Meowth. Shoutouts to my buddy and my rival Adam, who his favorite Pokemon is Persian. I catch this guy with no issues, and I nickname him Beck. After going through the underground tunnel and making it to Route 6, my encounter here is a Magnemite. This is a good backup electric type since I plan on using Kingpin as long as possible. I end up catching this guy after chucking a few Pokeballs, and I nickname him Fade. I get to Vermilion City, and my first stop is the Pokemon Fan Club where I talk to the president, and he gives me probably a little too much information on why he likes Rapidash, but I won't shame or anything. And after hearing him talk, he gives me the bike voucher, so next time I go to Cerulean City, I can get my bicycle. I'm just about ready to go on the SS Anne, but before that, I'm going to go to Diglett Cave to get my encounter, and shocker, it's a Diglett. I end up catching him, and I nickname him DH. Okay, so now it's party time on the SS Anne. Going through here, definitely a good amount of trainers. I like all the variety of water types the sailors have. But really, it's no issue. In fact, the biggest accomplishment I end up doing is getting Sean to level 24 because he learns Dig. And if I had evolved him to Nidoking earlier, he would not learn Dig naturally. So now that I have Dig here, I'm going to use the Moonstone now and get myself Nidoking, which is going to be a great Pokemon to use against Lieutenant Surge. At this point, I beat every single trainer and got every single item, so now it's time to run into my rival. Again, his team is about the same as the last fight. He does have a Sandshrew this time, but this will be the last fight with just his Eevee. The next time I fight him, he will have his Eeveelution, which in this run, it's going to be Jolteon. So right here, Kingpin deals good damage to Eradicate, but I'm afraid that thing is going to use just Hyper Fang. I decide to switch into Kokiri, who's able to knock out the Eradicate. The next Pokemon is Weepinbell, and Gust is a one-shot. His next Pokemon is Sandshrew, and a couple of bites, and I get the knockout. You will notice that Kokiri does have water moves. There was a bug at this version of the game where he just learned all of his moves at once. So I'm trying to be proper and just use the moves that he could only use at this point. Alright, and then his last Pokemon is Eevee, and it's getting a little dicey. I didn't want any quick attack shenanigans. So I switch into Fallen Order. He takes a double kick, but that's fine because I just use quick attack and get the knockout. Yeah, so I'll be very interested to see what Pokemon my rival uses in our next fight. The captain of the SS Anne is feeling quite seasick right now, so I rub his back, he feels better, and we get the TM for Cut. That's everything we have to do on the SS Anne, so now it's time to go take on Lieutenant Surge. Alright, I got through the stupid trash puzzle, and now it's time to fight Lieutenant Surge. So the gimmick of this fight is he has a level 29 Raichu that knows Body Slam, it knows Thunderbolt, it knows Surf. And we have Pokemon level 24 because that's the level cap for this gym. Honestly, it makes me think that Raichu is like a totem Pokemon from the Sun and Moon games. I go into Kingpin because I want to paralyze with Thunder Wave, and Kingpin just barely lives a critical hit Body Slam. Knowing that Kingpin can't live here, I switch into Sean, and Raichu goes for a Surf. I believe it has something to do with the smart AI for the Gen 1 and 2 games, but That was just incredibly unfortunate. And Sean's at 13 HP. At this point, I can't just keep switching around. I decide to go for the attack. And I go for a dig, and I luckily get the one shot. I am so glad I waited for him to no dig. So that was a really quick fight, but I think anyone can see here how that was almost like a wipe, or I could have lost a lot of members. So I feel like I got really lucky there. But we get the third badge, the TM the Thunderbolt, and yeah, onward to get our fourth badge. So I decided to do some extra things before ending the episode. I go to Pewter City to get the Old Amber. So when I get to Cinnabar Island, I have the option of either getting Kabuto or Aerodactyl as my encounter there. Before I end the episode, I'm going to show off 3 more encounters I get. Since being Lieutenant Surge, I can talk to the Officer Jenny to get a Squirtle. And I nicknamed this guy Adrian. So I decided to backtrack to Viridian City because I got my hands on the Good Rod. They placed it earlier in this game. And I decided to get my fishing encounter, which is a Horsey. And I'm going to go ahead and start using this guy because I really like Seadra. And its nickname is going to be It's Alpha. And then finally, before I close off this episode, I'm going to get my Route 11 encounter, and it's going to be Drowsy. This is good. First Psychic type for this run right now. And takes a little bit of effort, but I end up catching him, and I nickname him Quit W. So, I hope people enjoyed this episode. Next episode will be going to Celadon City and taking on Erica. So, have a good one.